I'm sorry, y'all. Peace, family. Just drinking some of that moon jug water. That water is good, y'all. I'm fucking with moon jug, yo. That water is good. I got you straight. They said straight out the well. So I gotta give it to them, the moon jug family, because that water's on point. And then I mean, congratulations on them getting into Sealy's, because that's awesome. It's an honor. But the video not on that, obviously. The video is, well, I don't know how to title it. I really honestly don't, because something that I was thinking of, I was just like, how do we really decipher Black Power? How do we decipher if they're really for Black Power or not? Something with Cynthia G was saying, which I agree. Like she said, we can't trust all our people, the whole all skin folk and kinfolk. And she says that she know that it will be Black people identifying Black identity extremists. We look at history, it was always Black people that sold out turncoat stuff. And I guess I expect, the average person, we expect you to be RBG, all you see around you, RBG, we expect you to be, militant, revolutionary, somebody who's just, for put boots on the ground, be activist. But is that 100%? Because when we think about that, and I think about ones who had to be in Black Panthers, wasn't they speaking at? Wasn't they militant, revolutionary, and all above, but they still got infiltrated? Was it Malcolm X? I mean, wasn't Marcus Garvey? Wasn't a lot of them, but they still got infiltrated. They still got, people who sold them out, whatever. Obviously, people, best friends, stuff like that, people they trusted. Wasn't they speaking all that? So one thing I'm starting to realize is that just because a brother or a sister is dressed in a suit or, dressed like, in Dockers and wingtip shoes or penny loafers or something, and a lot of times if I see something like that on corduroy, you're just like, oh, he's probably at the old or something like that. And that's not necessarily the case, because I do think that a lot of the ones out there that's dressed like that is the ones that's really putting the boots on the ground. That's really, just because you fuss and all that doesn't mean you Black Power. It's about the work that you're doing and the work that you're pursuing. So as long as you're doing the actions, nobody can fault you no matter what you say. And one thing that I was noticing, I think that people who, I don't think wardrobe, and maybe that's what I should title it, should wardrobe be a factor in regards to determining people being Black Power? I'm not going to front. I get so caught up in how we supposed to be, and I'll be like, we gotta rep our culture, we gotta rock our natural hair, we gotta rock our natural beauty, we gotta do this, we gotta do that, and even I'll be like, come on, females, this is what it is, so back to Africa, let's be Pan-African, let's embrace who we are, our culture, our beauty, all of us. But I was just in Lyft with this sister, and she got the eyelashes, she got the nails, she got the blonde, you know what I mean? She got it all. But the sis was conscious. She was on point. I mean, we had a good, she was like nice. It was nice talking to. It was a nice build that whole ride, like 30 minutes. Nice build that whole time. Everything that she was talking about. I was like, what? And I guess look how you could just, because you think, they rocking, the Euro, whatever, but her mindset and the things that she's doing and the stuff that she was talking about with Black us, and then she don't want competition with us, cattiness. She want us to build together and compete with the system and not celebrating the holidays and the work that she in and going to school and pushing and even me being in school, I'm coming across, because it's damn near all Black, and I'm coming across so many people that are pushing entrepreneurship, that are in school for that. And I'm just like, this is how we going to take over, and even when I'm at festivals or when I'm at other events or when I go to my Oracle home and go for meditation and stuff, I'm meeting people who say, oh, we're about entrepreneurship. And I'm just like, great. It's so many people out here that are, but they don't get the, I guess, attention like social media, will give them. You know what I mean? And they're just out and they're just doing it. And, we don't get it even on mainstream media. Nobody talks about all the, Black people out here, or melanated people, or African, whatever you want to refer, that are working, that are putting in the work, that didn't have done it. But nobody will broadcast that. You know what I mean? So when I was just thinking about that and thinking about the sis and talking to her, I was like, wow, I can't judge a person. I can't judge a book by its cover. I can't judge based off wardrobe. All that means nothing, because somebody can be with a head wrap on, looking all Afrocentric, but be the biggest goon, be the biggest sellout, be the biggest trader. You know what I mean? Be the biggest one who still sleep. And sometimes I even caught myself saying that. They're saying, just because a sister wear a head wrap don't make her conscious. You know what I mean? So, and I came across sisters wearing hair wraps and they don't know nothing. But then I come across somebody who looks just like Euro, and she was on point. And that's when I said to myself, okay, Geneva girl, you just gotta be branch and open to any and everybody, because you might, be building with the sis. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, it was great talking with you, sis, and meeting you and everything. I just feel so inspired. I just feel so different now. And I was like, man, I gotta come make a video on it. Because I was like, honestly, we can't let, nothing is, I think only your actions can determine, how committed you are to liberation. I think only your actions, not your words, not what you look like, not what you present, none of that. I think it's just only about your action, everything that you're doing, the work that you're doing. And that's what I was seeing from her, So I think I will title it that way, should wardrobe be, as a factor? Because I don't think it should now, listening, you know what I mean? And now I got to be quick to just, get to know a person, talk to them, build with them, and see where their mindset from, and go from there. Like a lot of people say on YouTube, we just got to build with the ones who have the similar goals in mind. You know what I mean? So, and just me linking up and meeting people has been good. And I'm so quick to get contact information. Any event I'm ever at, regardless, even if I'm at somebody's home who's just spiritual, if they got other people there, I'm just like, what's your contact information? What's your information? Let's exchange information. Because it's all about building and having whatever. And in case I hear something, I can let it be known. It's kind of like with the sister that does the warehouse. You know what I mean? If I can hear something, I can let her know. It's like when I heard about Freedom Paper Company, Black owned, I let her know. She was very thankful over that, very appreciative. So that's why I was trying to tell the sister Myth, like, it's about just trying to find that Black alternative. You know what I mean? And go to each other and go to, and find out, that word of mouth is so powerful, regardless if it's on social media or in person. And just by us just communicating with one another, you know what I mean? We start learning so much more, and about other things, you know what I mean? And other things that we should be taking advantage of and we should be engaging in. So that's just something that, I just wanted to get on my chest really quickly in regards to, a lot of times that I think that, or at least I'm going to speak on myself, that I prejudge, and we're probably all guilty of prejudging one another. But a lot of times it's just like, okay, if you look a certain way, I'm just automatically kind of crossing you off like, okay, well, you're not conscious. And look how I was, you know what I mean? Can, proven wrong. So, and then when I come across ones who, might look so, I don't know the word to use it. And I'm just like, oh, you're a cone. And that's not the case. I've been meeting people who dress certain ways and I'm just like, wow, you really are doing the work and everything. So, like I said, I'm just going to pretty much just judge people strictly based off of their actions, strictly based off what they're doing. Something else that we had talked about, I'm going to kind of go off for a little bit when we were talking about, police. And I told her, I said, why would I call the police to my home? You know what I mean? That makes no sense, because I was like, I don't really see them as police. I see them as slave patrollers. That's where it stems from, right? So she said, yeah. I said, not only that, when I look at police, I look at the biggest criminals on this planet. Real talk. I told her I don't see them as police. I don't see them as defenders. Because she was talking about the sister who was just raped in the backseat. I told her that's how I see them. I see police as rapists, murderers, and thieves. That's it. And I can't really consider them giving the title police or security or whatever, because you don't secure nothing. You secure your job. in regards to commit crime. That's all y'all know how to do. So I was like, how can they say that any other race out here commits more crime? This country is funded on that. This country is ran on that. You the biggest traffickers of humans, drugs, and weapons. This is all you do. This is all y'all know how to do. All the fraud and all everything else that you do with the system and get over. Look at you, your president, Dump, who just fucking got out of paying taxes. So they all do it. They all go out their way to commit crime, but they want to act like they don't. I told her, I said, every time you hear about a pig, isn't he always robbing? Isn't he always getting over on drug dealers and stuff? Like my brother was one, before he passed away. You know what I mean? How they used to hem him up and make him sell drugs for them or rob them and whatnot when they patting you down. So we don't know that they thieves. We don't know that that's all they do is rape. Even when I'm in Philly, I used to hear about it. I remember one sister, she flagged down a pig thinking she was going to get help, and he put her in a car and raped her. So this is all you hear about them. This is why I don't ever want to be in close quarters with them, because I feel it's like the main thing you're going to do, you're going to either try to sexually assault me. If you don't get that, then you'll try to rob me. If you don't get that, you'll kill me. Either or. But that's what I feel as though anytime you have an encounter with a pig, that's pretty much what's going to happen. So this is why they're pigs. So, and that's what I was just telling her. And she was like, oh, I agree with that 100. I said, I don't see them as no defenders or whatnot, no police. No, you criminals, period, point blank. And I just try to keep my distance away from criminals. And I said, and this is what we got to do for the system, because the system is criminal. But we got to regain, I told her, control of our planet back. We're doing that and putting in the work. But we can't fund our own genocide and continue to fund the system. For what? So I said, this is what gives them permission to keep treating us the way they do. So I was like, it's strictly about finding anything to just abstain from, giving it to the government. You know what I mean? So she was like, yeah. So we just started talking about a lot of stuff. We was even talking about, us going back home and stuff like that. And I said, well, for one, I said, we didn't come over here, voluntary. We came over here involuntary, right? So we were forced. I said, the only people came over here voluntarily was Caucasoid and probably all the other races that came through Ellis Island. They came over voluntarily. I told her, I said, one thing I'm going to leave with. I said, with the Caucasoid, I said, before you could tell anybody else who came over here voluntarily, I said, you could never tell us because we didn't come over here voluntarily and we was already here. So I said, so you can never tell us. But I said, if you want to talk to the other people who came over here voluntarily, you got to be the first one to lead that pack. You can't tell anybody else who came over here voluntarily to leave before you do, because you were the first voluntary person who came over here. So she was like, thanks, girl. I was like real talk. I was like, they was the first ones to come over here. So before you could tell anybody else, you got to lead that pack. You leave first, the rest of them probably will follow. We ain't going nowhere. But I said to myself, but it doesn't mean that we can't have a with Africa, that should be open. Communication and connection, all that line should be open. So it should, I'm talking about in the future, you know what I mean? I'm already speaking it into fruition. In the future, when the true melanated and the true originators of this planet regain control back of their planet, starting with this country, what we need to do is to keep that ally or that, connection open with Africa to where, any of us can go over there and they can come over here to, you know what I mean? We can just go back and forth, travel. That's what I'm talking to us as melanated beings. That's what we need to be planning for. So, that was just something that I was just trying to put out there, and I was just telling her and stuff. So she was agreeing with that. But something that just stayed in my mind, and just in my mind, and something I'm just not going to forget is the fact that, no judging books by its cover. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll title it that way. Do not judge a book by its cover, or, should certain things be factors. And I'm starting to realize that, any and everybody, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are. I mean, you can look at Dr. Boyce Watkins as somebody, that's kind of on a little scholar side or whatever. But, can we meet anybody that not anymore Black power? I mean, a man is so Black entrepreneurship. He's so much about that and building up our wealth. So, and that's definitely somebody we definitely need to be supporting 100%. So if we think about that, you know what I mean? There's so many. So, And this is just one thing I got to realize. So I'm not going to judge anymore, no more. Yes, I do still love natural beauty. I can't help that. But I'm not going to judge no more. You know what I mean? If they want to do whatever they want to do it. But if you're still woke and you're a person that's putting in that work, then that's all that matters to me. Now, if you're woke and you're not putting in that work, and you're, dressed in a certain way that kind of funds, the capitalism of this country, then I have an issue. But if you work and you woke and you putting in that work, you know what I mean, and you about it. I mean, maybe you just haven't got to the point where you got self-confidence. You know what I mean? Because that's something that each person just has to work on individually. We all have to work on our own self-confidence individually. That's nothing that can be worked as collective. So I say to people, if that's something you're battling or you're content in, certain things, I understand all that. But if you, hopefully you get to the point where you'll want to transition, you'll want to change that. But for right now, everything I heard from her, the person was an activist, she was putting in boots on the ground, definitely, she was somebody who was woke, she was somebody who was aware of all of it, she was somebody who could communicate very well. So, only thing that I was confused, you know what I mean? Because I was just like, wow, I didn't expect all this to come out of you, like real talk. So should I negate her? Should that be somebody I negate simply because I disagree with your wardrobe or the way that you, present yourself in your beauty? No, I'm not going to do that because you're still somebody who's a potential soldier and you're still somebody who's obviously want to be committed. You're still somebody who can, aid in this revolution. So, and that's just real talk, regardless if you want to wear makeup or anything like that. I think we was talking about Rihanna and her 70 million. So I was like, well, we get products made for us. I told her I got a friend of mine right now pushing her product. She's doing plant-based, for the vegans. So I said, oh, that market will really take off, sis. So, great. So it's going to be, well, for the melanated vegans, so it'll be strictly for us, for our culture, plant-based, which I think is awesome. So, and so I told her, I was like, we was talking about certain stuff like that. When I said, we love hearing, about, our people, pushing forward and elevating themselves, you know what I mean? And striving for something better. And I feel as though that is how we're going to, take back what's ours and take over everything, is to continue to keep doing our work ourselves, each individually. We got to work on ourselves continuously, individually, before we can work on ourselves collectively. You feel me? But it's like going hand in hand and doing it together. So pretty much. But I'm gonna end it on that note. I'm going on. I gotta get done. I gotta get started on work. So peace and love. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. Everybody gonna watch. Everybody who's gonna watch. Just trying to tell you that something that we just can't do. You know what I mean? We just can't. We can't prejudge. We gotta learn on how to work on that. And work on judging the. What does he say? The content of their character and not by the color of their skin or something like that. So, and I'm not just going to say color of skin, but don't judge them strictly based on, what they present, about their appearance, but judge them for, once you open up that book and what they have, internally inside. So keep your heads up, keep boots on the ground.